Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Karen Payragrosse, and I am the Naviance coordinator for the three middle schools, Liberty, Edison, and Roosevelt. I'm also a school counselor at Roosevelt Middle School. We are here tonight with Rachel Rosen. She is the high school coordinator for Naviance. She's also one of the high school counselors. Leslie Chang is also with us tonight. She's one of the assistant principals at the high school, and Tanya Thomasy is the facilitator for us tonight. Thank you, Tanya, for facilitating all this. So tonight we will be talking about Naviance, and I will talk more specifically about what we do at the middle school level, and then Rachel will take over and we'll talk about what they do at the high school level. So welcome to Naviance Student. Naviance Student is a college and career readiness program. It provides students with career planning, assessment tools. It's really to help students, especially at the sixth grade level, and at the middle school, it's really to expose them to as many options as possible after high school. And what we want is to expose them to as many options as possible, and we want them to start exploring as many options as possible. This is something, like I said, that they will use starting in sixth grade, and they will use it until they graduate from high school. So this is important to become familiar with it. Tanya, you can go to, thank you. So the goals for the middle school are very simple. The first one is to remember their username and password. We try to make it as easy as possible. So the username is going to be their email address and their password is going to be their Google password as well. So whatever they use on their computer, that's what they're going to be using on Naviance. They will register with us, counselors, during advisory. Those are activities that we do during that time. And another goal is to become familiar with the platform. Once they are at the high school, they're going to have to be focusing on so many other things. It's going to be nice for them to already be familiar with the platform, with the features of Naviance, what they can do with it. And when they are at the high school and they have to use it on a more regular basis, it's going to be easier for them to log in and look for whatever they need to look for. Like I said, they are starting exploring different careers, which is, you'll see, I'll show you the platform. There's a plethora of possibilities. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, but it is very helpful. This is a great tool. At the middle school level, towards the end of eighth grade, we also start looking at colleges, and Rachel will tell you all about that more in details, obviously. We also have a challenge of the month, and this is something that will be posted on Naviance. I'll show you where exactly. Once a month, we want parents and students to get involved and simply to research a career on Naviance and look at videos that are related to that career. So let me show you now how to get onto Naviance. The way you would access Naviance, there are so many different ways, but one is to go on a counseling page of any school, and you will see the exact same page. You simply go to Naviance, and then you will see the website. Every school has a different URL, so it's very important that you go to your child's specific school. Then you will click on Parent. I'm going to be a student for tonight, so I'm going to click on Student. I'm going to show you exactly what students do. They will type their email address, the password. The sixth graders will log in on Naviance and register by the end of sixth grade. The seventh graders and eighth graders are going to be doing, I mean, obviously they already registered as eighth graders. Seventh graders, they will do it this year. And we try to do activities frequently so that they can explore different features of Naviance. So this is what the website looks like. Tonight, I am an eighth grader, so you see the welcome message. A nice feature on Naviance is that you can change the language of the website. So if you're more comfortable with a different language, that's what you can do. and you will find information from the school. You can see here the challenge of the month for September. Okay. And at the middle school level, there are really three, hold on, there are three tabs that you really need to this, familiar with: the self-discovery tab, career tab, and college tab. So self-discovery shows you different career assessment tools that students can take at any point, and they can retake them because when you are a sixth grader, obviously your interests are very different than when you are an eighth grader. You can take those career assessments as parents if you want, and students definitely take it every year. There is one per year. So for example, this one, the learning and productivity is for sixth graders, career key for seventh, and career cluster finders for eighth graders. But honestly, you can take it at any point. That's a great tool. This will help them link their strength and interest to different careers. So if you want, I can show you. And like I said, they can retake them as many times as they want, depending on their interest, because things will change over time. So once they take those career assessment tools, they will have a result, and then they will see what they can be interested in, what kind of career they can go to. As parents, you will have a different access as students, just like with Google Classroom. On Google Classroom, you can see the assignments that they have, but you cannot do the assignments for them. It's the exact same thing on Naviance. So you can see the results of their career assessments, but you cannot take the career assessments unless you go in their login. You don't really need an account as parents. You can have your own account, but if you want, you can also use your child's account. That's completely fine. The other tab that we will be using at the middle school level is the career tab. So they can explore careers. Some students at the middle school level already know exactly what they want to be doing, and that's fantastic. And this will give them even more tools and resources. So they can type here, I want to be a nurse, and there you go. You have, like I said, a plethora of nurse-related jobs. They can click on one. They can look at it. This is an overview of what an acute care nurse does, what kind of skills they will need for this job, how much money they will make. That's also very interesting to students. And then from there, they can go to different tabs as well. Okay. If they're not really interested in that particular career, then they can try other related careers. This is more military. Here are other related careers into the medical fields. So, like I said, a lot of options for them. The other thing is they don't know what to do. They don't know they want to be a nurse, or they have no idea. And most of the time, that's what happens at the middle school level. So they can explore with clusters and pathways. Maybe they know they want to work with animals. Maybe they know they want to travel. Maybe they know they love art. And this is a great option. There you go. The cluster of arts and audio technology, video, and communications. And this will give them ideas on what they can do. Let's say journalism and broadcasting. Again, it will give them an overview of what that is, what to do, related occupations, related majors, plan of study. Will tell you what they need to achieve that goal. So that's also a possibility. Then on the careers, something that we really enjoy doing is Road Trip Nation. These are thousands of videos of professionals who are accomplished and who maybe had to overcome certain difficulties, and they will explain why they decided to go in that direction, why they decided to do that career, and what kind of obstacles they had to overcome. And again, if they don't know what to do, they can pick an interest, they can pick a theme, they can pick a letter, they can even, so I can show you what it looks like by interests. Like you can see it's all sorts of interests. Let's say law, and then they can pick any video. Those videos are very short, which is very nice because if they lose interest, they can pick another one. I wanted to show you also under Road Trip Nation, they can find their road and they can define their road, and they can find more specific videos to watch depending on their strength. Again, that's the goal, to link their strength and interest and to make them into a career. So they're gonna pick, I like to build things, I like art and journalism, and this is what I can watch. These are professionals that have the same path. Okay. And then the last one is colleges. Obviously, Rachel will talk more about that, but at the middle school level, we can start researching if this is something that your child wants, if your child wants to go to college. We do an advanced college search. It's very quick. Obviously, they don't have a GPA yet, so they cannot answer all the questions, but it's a first exposure, and they always enjoy that activity.
Erin, we have a question, and it's I cannot create an account without a registration code from the school, but I cannot get anyone to give me the code. Can someone please help with the code?
Yeah, so every school counselor should be able to give you the code, but feel free to email me and I will respond. And you're right, you cannot create an account without this registration code. I did send an email to everybody at the beginning of the month with the registration code. It's possible you didn't get that email. That's totally fine. Just email me and I will get back to you. And again, if you don't want to create your own account, you can go on your child's account. If you do have two students in the same school, I can definitely link your two children. If you do have children in different schools, I cannot link them. So you will need two different accounts because it's two different URLs. So unfortunately, I cannot link them. So that's something that Naviance needs to work on. The last thing I wanted to show you is, yeah, the information here. And sometimes we do have messages on Naviance. So it's nice for you to look at that page. I think I am done. Is there any questions related to middle school? No. So
And we'll open up the questions at the end as well and spend some time answering any questions that you may have. Karen, is it okay if I take over now?
go ahead.
All right. So hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Rosen. I'm one of the school counselors at the high school, also the Naviance coordinator for the high school. I'm going to show you some of the features that we use at the high school. Karen is right. We definitely continue to use Naviance all the way through 12th grade. I would say 11th and 12th grade is when the students are really logging on a regular basis to start planning which colleges they're attending, to work on their resume, to do college searches. And Naviance is also one of the main forms of communication that we use at the high school. So if you're already a parent at the high school, you're very familiar with the amount of emails that we send out. It's a way that we use to communicate, things that are going on, not only just at the school counseling office, but at the high school as a whole. So you guys can see my screen, yes? So I'm going to take you through the colleges tab, the planner, the about me, and also talk about the home screen and some other things that you can find on the home screen. Every student's home screen is personalized for their grade level. So for this student, this is my demo student, they're a junior, so we'll have things on there like junior conference checklist. We'll have any recent presentations that we've done and video links to that. The GPA calculator, the WOHS college acceptance info, and sample high school transcripts. That's pretty much on all grade levels. As well as links to PSAT and SAT registration, student bulletin board, clubs and organizations, the course selection sheet, etc. All of these things can be also found, a lot of them on the school website, but we try to consolidate everything and have like a one-stop shop for the kids to come on and really be able to access a lot of the things that they're asking us about. Within this little welcome to Naviance home screen, there's also the additional information from your school. So here's more links to things like, you know, Road Trip Nation that Ms. Payragrosse was talking about, Khan Academy, an application, financial aid, so on and so forth. And we, you know, regularly update this information. So you can always click on that additional information from your school. All right, so let's jump into the colleges tab. When you click on the top, you'll see that there are 4 different columns here. The first one is about doing college research. The second one, well, is also about doing college research, but it's more drilling down into the specific colleges. The Apply to College tab is when you're a senior, you will have all of your colleges on here that you are applying to. And then also scholarships and money. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about the college searches. There's 2 different searches on Naviance, the Supermatch College Search and also the Advanced College Search. These are not very different from any college search that you may find on outside websites, like College Board has one, Princeton Review, US News and World Report. They all have these college searches where you can type in, you know, how far you want to be from home, what your GPA is, SAT scores, etc. The reason it's a little bit more beneficial to do it in here is because once you have your list of schools, or once you come up with your criteria, you're able to add them as a favorite right from the results list. So for instance, if you know, I typed in a location and a major, a campus surroundings, and that I wanted a school with ROTC in it. And you can see that I came up with a bunch of schools here that were a close match. So I can go ahead and just click it as a favorite. You can also do these college searches on the outside websites and then just come in and plug them into your colleges I'm thinking about. This colleges I'm thinking about, the little heart, is a working list that we are encouraging students at the high school to be adding, deleting, and just using it as a place to organize all of their colleges that they're interested in. You can come over here and you can update, you know, are you highly interested in it? Are you medium? Is it your first choice? You can also click on the more and view more information about the school. Scattergrams, I'll show you guys that in a second. But really, if you wanted to just add a college to this list, you could just click this little add colleges to this list. Trips people up because it defaults to this quick list, but if you just scroll down to keyword, or you could even search by country or by state. So if you were to come in here and type, I don't know, Rutgers, for instance, and then click go, you'll see that the various campuses of Rutgers show up, and you can click the little heart, and then it's now going to show up on your colleges I'm thinking about list. So you can see Rutgers is now on here at the bottom here. So we encourage students to do this as early as ninth grade, and just, reinforce to them that this is a fluid working list and that, by the time they're seniors, we're hoping that they'll be able to have their colleges actually applying to list. And it makes it really easy to move these colleges right over to your colleges applying to list when you do become a senior. Another cool feature about having this list is the Compare Me button, which I know parents are really interested in. The thing that makes Naviance very different from other websites like a College Board or a Princeton Review is that the data that's pulling for these average GPAs, average SAT scores, is real West Orange High School data. We have been collecting data even before 2016, but it's really over these past 8 or 9 years that we're collecting this data. So when you look at an American university and you see that 4.13 GPA, this is based on students from West Orange High School over the past 8 years who have applied to American, gotten in, and what is their average GPA. So this is going to differ from what you might hear if you went to a tour at American University. They're going to tell you not only what usually the unweighted GPA is, but it's going to be the national or even international average of what the school is looking for. Whereas this average GPA is just West Orange High School data specific. I always encourage students and parents to come over here and look at this column because this is going to tell you how fruitful that data is. What this is saying is that over the past 8 years, we've had 176 students apply to American, and of that 176, 43 got in. And of that 43, this is their average GPA, their average single SAT, ACT, etc. IB is not relative to our school. We should actually take that out. So again, it's important to look at the information from both sides, right? What is the national or international averages of students that are being accepted to schools? But this is really going to give you a very realistic view of what students from West Orange High School are getting in order to get into these schools. Another tool I wanted to show you, if I'm going to go back to the colleges I'm thinking about, and you click on this more, is the scattergrams. For those of you that are more visual in nature, this scattergram gives you a really good idea of, what's the range of students that have been accepted. So all of these little check boxes represent students from West Orange High School. And if you hover your mouse over them, it's going to tell you how they were accepted. RD stands for regular decision, what their SAT scores and what their ACT scores. And you'll be able to, pinpoint those anomalies. So for instance, you see this green dot in here. This student was accepted with a 2.9 GPA and an 880 on the SAT. And you'll also be able to see those anomalies up here of students outside of the range who maybe were rejected. So that's a little bit about the colleges I'm thinking about list. Another thing that we post on Naviance is all of our college visits. So students can come in here and they can see all of the different colleges that are coming to West Orange High School to give, speeches and give overviews, and they can sign up right from this website. You can see Stanford is coming on Thursday and the event is already full, but Financial Aid Night, Keene University, University of Rhode Island, and this list is constantly being updated. So students can come in here and register to meet with college reps at our own school. Other things that can be found in here, we do upload test scores here. So ACT and SAT test scores can be found in here. There is a little bit of a lag from when students actually get the score to when we upload them. So don't be concerned if your test score is currently a little bit outdated. It just may be that we haven't received the file yet from SAT or ACT to upload. If you really want to see what your scores are in real time, the best place to go look is actually on the SAT or ACT websites. But again, we try to consolidate all the information so that students kind of have a one-stop shop of places, of things to view on Naviance. Just going back here to the colleges tab, scholarships and money. Here is also where we post all of our scholarships in addition to a Google Classroom as well. So you can come on here and search for scholarships. Students are always asking me, how can I get money for college? What can I do? So this is a great resource for students, and you can actually save some of the scholarships as your favorites, similar to the colleges I'm thinking about. So this is great. Parents always ask me, when is a good time to start researching scholarships? It's never too early to start learning about the scholarships, but the time to actually apply for those scholarships is in senior year, is in 12th grade. So I have a lot of eager students out there who want to get a jump start, and unfortunately, just the scholarships are usually not available to apply to until they are seniors. Okay. Another feature I want to show you about that we encourage students to regularly update is their activities resume. So that's under the About Me tab. If you click resume, the resume is a really important document for colleges and scholarships. It's basically a record of all of the extracurricular activities that you've done throughout your high school career. Parents always ask me, can I put things from middle school on there? And, the rule of thumb is if it's something that you did in middle school that you are continuing to do throughout high school, absolutely put it on there that, you've been working at a summer camp since, you were in 6th grade. But if it's something that is limited to just middle school, we recommend not including it and really just focus on your high school career. So the features in here make it really easy to format the resume. Any parents out there who've ever worked on their resume know that that's one of the hardest parts about the resume is formatting it. So you can just come in here and you can select whatever category you feel like it best fits into. So maybe you want to add a work experience, and you can come in here and say, waitress at Fortissimo. Okay, you can add as much or as little information as you want. The required things are, the position title and the start date. I always tell kids, if you can't remember the start date, just guesstimate. So, a rule of thumb, you can put September of the year you started, if it started with the school year. You don't have to put an end date. You can also click off to present. So if I just put in here that we started this maybe in September 2024 to present, maybe you work 6 hours a week. And again, this is something that you may not even need to include. For instance, if you're going to put on here that you're on the varsity soccer team, it's a lot of hours per week that you put into that. You don't necessarily need to put the hours per week unless it makes sense. It may make more sense just to click off the grades that you participated in. So maybe, you put on 10, 11, and 12. And I always encourage students to add some sort of description or comment just to make it a little bit more fruitful. And then you can click add. And you can see that just added the waitress at Fortissimo. You can easily edit it. You can easily remove it. And this should, again, be another fluid document that you are updating throughout your high school career. It's much easier to do it along the way than it is come senior year when you had nothing on it, and then to kind of remember all of the details. So we encourage students to update this every time we meet with them, but it's a good idea for them to be updating it on their own as well. Those are kind of the main features that we are using on Naviance with our students. Another thing that we regularly use are our surveys. So we have meetings with our students multiple times a year, and often we will ask them to complete a survey at the end, and this information gets saved in their Naviance account. No one sees it other than myself, but we'll ask questions like, you know, what are your career goals? What are your favorite classes? What are your least favorite classes? And I often find myself looking at these surveys regularly, especially before maybe I have meetings with a parent, just to kind of familiarize myself with the student and some of their most recent activities. We will also assign tasks to students. So if I go back here to the home screen, you'll see that one of the tasks that's kind of running on there is the activities resume, maybe to complete a survey. And the surveys are very grade specific. So you can see here, this one says to complete the survey for letters of recommendation. This survey isn't even available until you're a 12th grader. So you'll see different things pop up based on the kid's grade level. In the planner, there's also, you know, a great way for you to organize your to-dos if this is where you would like to do it. Everyone has their own method of, you know, making lists and goals, but there is a feature in here in Naviance if you would like to, you know, make your to-do list and your calendars in here. All students also use Google Classroom, so that's another great feature for students to use as well if they don't feel like using the planner within the Naviance program. And I'll also show you guys at the top here this little mail feature. So like I said, we use Naviance as a way to blast out information to parents, and the record of all of the communications that we send out is in here. So you can see how many we've sent out even since the beginning of September. And it's everything from, you know, the HBCU fairs to senior meetings to financial aid. And, you know, and a lot of times we blast these emails out multiple times to make sure that we're reaching the widest amount of audience. That's kind of all I was planning to show you guys tonight. We would love to open up the Q&A. If anyone has more specific questions, you can always reach out to me at the high school, as well as your child's counselor, who is also very well versed in Naviance as well. But if you have any specific questions, you're welcome to reach out to me as well. We do have a little survey at the end that I believe we're going to share in the chat. If you wouldn't mind just giving us your feedback about the Naviance night, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you would like more in-depth explanations about. It helps us to kind of cater to, you know, the needs of the parents and the students. Stop sharing my screen.
Rachel, there are 2 questions, college related.
Okay, let's see. I gotta just find the chat. Stop share. All right, here we go. I see them. Okay. Can colleges see where they are on the list? No. If I'm understanding the question correctly, can colleges see if they are on your child's list? No. The colleges don't have access to see any information that is in your child's Naviance account. The only time that that becomes available to them is when they are seniors and they officially are applying to that school and designate it as such on Naviance. Will the school even be able to see that they're interested in that school? But up until then, there is zero transparency between colleges and your child's Naviance account. Looking at the next question, how do students learn about colleges coming to visit? Do they have to check periodically in Naviance, or is there a schedule? Is this something that gets announced so juniors get this info? We do, blast out emails about college visits, not always every single one. So it is encouraged that the students go into Naviance, click on the college visits, and sign up. They have to go on Naviance to sign up for the visits anyway, so they should be checking that periodically to make sure that they're not missing anything. They also make announcements in the morning and afternoon announcements about college visits that are coming as well.
I can answer the other ones. So the difference between a parent account and a student account, like I said, it's just like Google Classroom. So you will not be able to do everything that your child does on Naviance, but you will be able to see the results. So what we usually encourage is simply to access your child's account directly instead of having your separate account, but it's really depends on your preferences. If you want to have your own account, you can definitely do that. I don't know how that goes at the high school. I mean, I know at the middle school level, we don't do as much as at the high school. I don't know what they can see at the high school level that the parents cannot see. That I'm not so sure. And yes, if you have two children in the high school and one in the middle school, you do need to have two different accounts because it's not the same website, unfortunately. But like I said, you can go on your child's account and I think it should be fine.
And I'm just working on, I saw that the link was not working, so I am just working on pasting that into the chat as well, and hopefully it works. If not, the presentation will be linked and posted afterwards, in which case you'll be able to, go onto the actual PowerPoint and access the link that way as well. But I apologize if that's not working right now. I'm gonna try to put it in one more time.
There will be a link for the recorded session tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday.
Looking through the chat. I see a parent, asked about a specific student. I will look into that when we get off the call. My daughter said they showed them Naviance once in middle school and never used it again. Can you please show them again? We show Naviance and use it in every one of our small group meetings that we have in our office. So that's your freshman meeting, your sophomore meeting, both junior meetings, and definitely the senior meeting. Whether or not the students go on their own time in between them, this tool is available to them. We think it's really resourceful and we really encourage them to use it. But it's not something that is required of the students to use really until junior and senior year when they're actually, coming up with their college lists. All the questions about logging in, signing in, we can definitely help you guys on a case-by-case basis. Just to piggyback on what Karen said about the parent versus the child account, the parents, don't have access to see the child's account. So if your child is actively making a college list on their account and then the parent logs into their account, it's not going to link up. It's not going to show that. So oftentimes we will encourage the students to share their usernames and passwords with the parents and just use the student account going forward. But it is a feature that is available to all students if they would like to have their own account. From your past experience, do some of the Ivy League colleges do visits? Yes, we've had Ivy Leagues come, as well as a lot of the Ivy Leagues will attend our college fair. that we host.
Yes, I believe the chat is disabled to only have questions in the question and answer.
Oh, Ms. Thomasy, are we able to open that just so I can type in the exit survey?
Oops, sorry. I just sent the exit survey to everyone.
Okay.
It would be helpful if someone just in the Q&A let me know if you were able to access it. Rachel, before it said that you had to have a domain address to access it.
Oh,
Is it possible for you to open it wider?
yeah, let me work on that.
Okay.
There was a question about for high school correspondence, do we need to sign up with our own account as parents?
So you do not. Within your child's account, there is a place for us to input the parent email, and you will get emails with even without a parent account. So as long as your child has an account, which every child at the high school does, and your email is inputted in there, which also we put all the parent email addresses in there, you should be getting the emails. If you are not, you can reach out to myself or to your school's counselor, and we can look more in depth into that specific situation. I apologize about the form. We will get that out to you guys. We'll blast that out once the presentation is over, and it'll definitely be linked on the PowerPoint. I apologize, it's not working for right now.
Let me see if I can really quickly take a look at it, Rachel.
Yeah, maybe I'll share it with you.
Yeah, why don't you share it with me and I'll take a look if you can make me an editor.
Yes. All right, Tanya, I just sent that to you, and it looks like we already have one response, so I'm wondering if it is working.
It might be a response from someone with a domain address, but let me go ahead and.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to change it from West Orange schools.
Okay, I just changed it, so if someone could give it a go again and then let me know if you're able to access it now.
Oh, someone asked, can we schedule college visits on Naviance? So you can only schedule the college visits that are being hosted at West Orange High School. So we often have representatives come to the high school to give information sessions to the students. College visits on college campuses are done directly through those college websites. Naviance does link to all of the college websites, so you can easily access them, but each, open house or tour that you would sign up for at the specific college, you would do that on that school's website. Okay, yes, it's working. Thank you. Someone asked, is there a WOHS Naviance page, or do the students access Naviance only through middle school? There is a West Orange High School specific link. Instead of, / Roosevelt or / Liberty, it is a / WOHS NJ. And that is linked on the school website as well. They don't need to create new accounts or change their domain as they move from 8th grade to 9th grade. That's seamlessly rolled over on our end. But there is a different link, and that often happens. Parents or students will say, I'm trying to log in, my username and password isn't working. And then when I look at the domain that they're using, it's the middle school link and not the high school link. So just make sure you're using the right link. And then one last question I see here are what are some things that freshmen should be working on? Really just familiarizing themselves with all of the features. They can come on here and start updating their resume, answering any surveys that they may have, and just, it's never too early to start doing your college research because it takes a long time. So we encourage, as early as possible. Are there any other questions? Well, thank you very much for everyone who participated. I apologize for the little technical snafu, but I'm glad that it's working. Please give us your feedback. It'll just help make this, this presentation more fruitful conversation in the future. And I look forward to reading all of your comments. And like I said, again, if you have any specific, like I can't log in or I don't have my code, please just email me directly. I'll go ahead and put our emails up here right now. I'm going to share my screen so you can see the presentation, the last page, which has our emails on it. And here are our email addresses. So mine is rosen@westorangeschools.org. Ms. Payragrosse is kpayragrosse@westorangeschools.org. So thank you so much. And I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you very much. And this will be sent to you. The presentation and the recording will be sent to you tomorrow or before the end of the week.
Okay, thank you everyone. I'm going to close this session out now. Have a great evening.